On March 8, 2014, a passenger aircraft carrying 239 people disappeared from radar. No distress call, no confirmed crash site, no final explanation. What began as a routine international flight soon became one of the greatest aviation mysteries in human history. This is the story of the vanished flight. The airport was alive with movement. Families hugged goodbye, passengers rolled suitcases across polished floors, flight attendants prepared for another ordinary journey. Nothing felt unusual. The aircraft was scheduled to travel overnight across Southeast Asia before continuing toward its destination. The pilots were experienced. The weather appeared calm. Every system reportedly checked out normally before departure. At first, everything went exactly as planned. The aircraft climbed smoothly into the darkness. Air traffic control monitored the flight as it crossed the night sky. Passengers likely watched movies, drank coffee, or tried to sleep. No one on board could have imagined what was about to happen. Then, something changed. Hours after takeoff, communication between the cockpit and air traffic control became strangely brief. The final words transmitted sounded calm, normal, routine. But moments later, the aircraft vanished from civilian radar. At first, controllers assumed it was a technical issue. Radar contact can occasionally fail. Communication systems sometimes experience interruptions. But minutes passed, then more, still nothing. Attempts to reconnect failed repeatedly. The aircraft had disappeared, and worse, nobody knew where it went. Military radar later revealed something deeply disturbing. The aircraft may have changed direction after disappearing from civilian tracking systems, instead of continuing along its scheduled route. It appeared to turn back. This single detail transformed the mystery completely. Because airplanes do not simply change course in the middle of the night without reason, investigators immediately began asking impossible questions. Was the aircraft hijacked? Did someone inside the cockpit deliberately alter the route? Could there have been a catastrophic emergency on board? Or was there something else nobody understood? The mystery deepened even further when investigators discovered that the aircraft continued flying for hours after losing contact. Hours, somewhere in the darkness. The plane was still moving, but toward where? Nobody knew. The search operation quickly became one of the largest in aviation history. Ships crossed enormous stretches of ocean. Aircraft scanned endless waves from above. Satellites were analyzed. Military agencies became involved. Entire nations joined the search. But the ocean is unimaginably vast. Investigators faced impossible conditions. Towering waves, violent storms, remote waters thousands of kilometers from land. Even if wreckage existed, finding it would be like locating a single object inside a planet-sized desert. Days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months, still no confirmed answers emerged. The world watched in disbelief. How could a modern passenger aircraft simply vanish? As hope faded, theories exploded across the internet. Some believed the aircraft suffered sudden mechanical failure. Others suspected fire inside the cabin. Some theorized about decompression, others pointed toward hijacking. Then came darker theories. Government conspiracies, secret military operations, cyber attacks. Even paranormal explanations surfaced because when people cannot explain fear, they create explanations of their own. But despite endless speculation, investigators struggled with one terrifying reality. There was very little evidence, and without evidence, every possibility remained open. One of the most disturbing questions involved the cockpit above all. Why was there no emergency signal? Pilots are trained to communicate during crisis situations. Even seconds matter. Yet no distress call was ever clearly received. No final warning. No panic, only silence, which became one of the greatest mysteries of all. Some experts suggested communication systems may have been deliberately disabled. Others argued a sudden emergency could have incapacitated the crew instantly. But nobody could prove either theory, and with every missing answer, the mystery grew darker. Investigators eventually turned toward satellite data. Tiny electronic signals, known as handshakes, suggested the aircraft continued transmitting automatically for several hours after disappearing. These signals did not reveal an exact location, but they hinted at possible flight paths. One route stretched north, another extended deep into the southern Indian Ocean. The southern route soon became the primary focus, and if correct, it meant the aircraft may have flown thousands of kilometers into one of the most remote regions on Earth. A place almost completely isolated from civilization, cold, violent, empty. A place where wreckage could disappear beneath the ocean forever. The Indian Ocean is unlike most places on Earth. Beneath the surface lie underwater mountains, trenches, and massive volcanic formations. Some regions remain poorly mapped, even today. Search teams deployed advanced sonar systems and underwater drones. They scanned the ocean floor endlessly, But the deeper they searched, the more impossible the mission became. The ocean swallowed visibility. Currents scattered debris across unimaginable distances, and time slowly erased evidence. Still, families waited. They wanted answers even after months. Many refused to believe hope was gone. Then came a breakthrough. Years after the disappearance, pieces of aircraft debris began washing ashore on distant islands and coastlines. Some fragments were confirmed to belong to the missing aircraft, shocking the world, because it proved one horrifying truth. The plane had likely crashed into the ocean, but even then, the central mystery remained unsolved. Why did it disappear in the first place? Why did it change course? And what happened on board during those final hours? The debris answered one question, but created many more. Behind every mystery are real people. 239 lives vanished that night. Families spent years waiting for answers. Some refused to accept the loss. Others struggled with uncertainty because uncertainty can sometimes feel worse than grief itself. No final goodbye, no complete explanation, only endless questions. The disappearance became more than an aviation mystery. It became a symbol of human vulnerability. A reminder that despite modern technology, there are still places where people can disappear without explanation. Online communities became obsessed with the case. Thousands studied radar data, satellite images, and flight simulations. Some theories sounded logical, others became increasingly bizarre. Social media transformed the mystery into a global obsession. Videos claimed secret evidence had been hidden. Some believed the aircraft landed somewhere unknown. Others insisted it had been destroyed intentionally. But years later, no theory has fully explained everything. And that uncertainty continues fueling the mystery today. Perhaps the reason this mystery terrifies people so deeply is simple. Modern society depends on certainty. We believe satellites can track everything. We believe technology sees everything. But this case shattered that illusion. An entire passenger aircraft disappeared, and the world could not stop it. Even now, parts of the story remain hidden beneath thousands of meters of ocean, waiting, silent, unreachable. Somewhere beneath the waves, pieces of the vanished flight still rest in darkness. The passengers, the answers, the final moments, lost inside one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in aviation history. And perhaps the most terrifying part of all is that nobody truly knows what happened that night. Maybe one day the ocean will reveal its secrets, or maybe the vanished flight will remain a mystery forever. 239 people vanished, and the world still searches for answers.